everyone. So we've just been delivered the truck. So let me give you a little bit of an idea of what we're going to be looking at first, and a little bit about the truck itself, and a little bit of a tour around. So basically, first things first, it's been used previously as a tool truck. So the cab body has been custom made. Basically, it's got a alarm system, a bit like a car, where we can have the front and back armed separately. So obviously we can have the front locked and the back open while they were showing tools around and stuff like that. But also the other way around, they could have the front locked, front open and back locked, so people didn't jump in while they're driving around. So pretty easy to open up. Got a little push button open, and that is pretty much it to get in, nice and easy. There is a lock just like a normal door if we want to go and lock it up that way. If we come inside, pretty basic. Great thing about this truck, and one of the reasons we picked it was because it is a fully insulated truck as it is. It wasn't used as a refrigerated truck, even though it does have the air conditioner that runs off the engine. So the actual paneling in the walls isn't as thick as what you'd find in a refrigerated truck, which suited us perfectly, so we don't lose too much depth in the walls. As you can see down here is a whole bunch of electrical equipment. So basically this unit has been fully wired up with 240 volts and 24 volts and 12 volts. So basically we have all of the options in here. You can see on the walls and on the roof there is some pegboard. We will be removing some of this, in particular the back panels, where we plan on putting a bed, and over here a shower. So those panels will be coming off. It gives us an extra 1.5 to 2 centimeters to work with. We'll probably as well be taking some of this angle out and some of the lights out. Obviously it is much more energy efficient to be running LED lights, so the plan is to be running the majority of the time off 12 volt or 24 volt lights, and when we're able to plug in we can run the 240 volts. If we come down to the electrics, they have a massive inverter in here. Obviously they were demoing 240 volt power tools with quite a bit of amperage pumping through them. So we've got a massive inverter in there. We've got a solar charger because there is one 250 watt panel on the roof already. We've got a 24 volt battery charger, which charges the battery bank that is directly under my feet here. We have a DC voltage converter to convert from 24 volts to 12 volts, and obviously you've got your safety switches up top and the ability to completely isolate the electricity if required. So if we're working on the unit or we don't want any power running through the back, we can just switch that off and there's no power running through here. That obviously all locks up in a lovely cabinet here. Air conditioner runs off the engine, doesn't run off 240 volts, so it'll be cool when we arrive, wherever we arrive, but obviously we won't be running the engine just to have air conditioning in here. Beauty of it is that it's much cooler in here than it is outside at the moment, so we shouldn't find the need to have that. Obviously we'll have a fan. We've already ordered the fan, got to cut a hole in the roof for that, and we plan on having a window here and a window here. Obviously the layout, we've done quite a bit of drawings online using 3D tools from Bunnings and IKEA to get an idea. Obviously they are quite limited in what they sell as to what you can put in your designs, but they do have options to put in, just like obstacles in whatever dimensions you want throughout the room, so that was good. But basically with the IKEA stuff, we've mapped out fridges going in this section here, flip down bench off the fridge in this part here. We're going to have 500 deep cabinets running along here, and 390 high cabinets up the top. Here would be our wardrobe for clothing, and we've got bench seats either side, 1.8 metres long, and we're going to have a drop down bed that comes over the top of it, which we're just going to make out of some heavy duty door railings that we've got, and for the time being it's just going to be a manual lift system. If in the future we find that we need to be able to lift it on our own, like if Ruth needs to be able to lift it, then we'll look at installing some sort of system to actually lift it up. Obviously we have a back door as well. Behind that back door, I'll show you in a second, is a hydraulic lift that was used to lift the tools up and bring them in here, large toolboxes and stuff like that, but we're thinking of converting that into a motorcycle platform, so we can park the motorcycle on it, strap it in, and be able to lift it up and down as required, but we need to look into what's actually involved to get that done. So come around to the outside. So over here, got battery slide outs. Nice and simple. Open it up, and the batteries come out there. Probably going to be installing another battery before we head out on the road, but for the time being, they're 150 amp hour each, so 300 amp hours are in there already. As was discussed, there is the hydraulic lift at the back. On the other side, nothing special, it's just a panel wall just like we already have, and on this side, but obviously with no doors. Inside of the cabin, nothing real fancy. Oh, I have to open that up. Still getting used to that system. So here, we've obviously got two seats in the front, and the seat for the driver is on a airlift system, so it is nice and comfy. On the roof, we've got this nose cone to try and keep down the air drag. We've got the little panel that we can use to lift up the tailgate remotely, otherwise you can just get underneath the cabin itself. Things we need to do to it to be able to get it on the road is tyres, and probably a windscreen because it's got a few cracks in it, and then obviously the conversion from a commercial truck to a camper van. So in order to do that, we have to get a few things in place for them to be able to certify it. We're not going to be running gas in here, so we don't need a gas certificate. 240 volts, we've got everything, all the paperwork for that. And so basically we've just got to have a fixed or removable table, enough seating for the amount of people that the cab can sit and sleep also, and we've got to have a fixed cooktop. So that's what we need, or that we've found out so far. Obviously there might be other things, but for the time being, that's what we're focusing on. Cabinetry, we're getting quotes out at the moment for whether we build or whether we go down the prefabbed option. We have found several good looking stainless steel toolkits, believe it or not, that we can see fitting the bill quite nicely. They're about $490 deep, which is what we've been looking at, for between $500 and $490, so that fits perfectly, and the price is right also, so that might be something that we head down and look at Bunnings at. As far as what we're going to do right now, I'm going to rip up this rubber flooring, and it's just what looks to be chipboard underneath, which is perfect, or plywood I should say, and probably take some of these panels off to get a look at what we're dealing with up top. So I'll just chuck that on a time lapse and you guys can enjoy the show.